Hello, guys. I am going live to talk about how to go from basically undervalued to booked out with my special three-part framework that I teach in the Empowered Profitable CEO group coaching program. I'm going to give it just a few moments. As usual, I'm always going live on both Facebook and Instagram. So I'm going to give it a moment and I'm going to pin a comment as well about what I'm talking about today. Thanks for joining, guys. Let me just pin this comment real quick. And then, I have notes and I'm going to dive right in. I'll give you a little bit of background while I kind of give it a few moments to let people get in. One of the big things that I've learned over the last year in my business is that you can be really excellent at what you do, like amazing at what you do, and people still won't buy your service, and it will be very confusing to you. It'll be confusing for so many reasons. You know that you're talented, you know that you're smart, you know that you get results, you know that you've gotten results for other people. So it's going to be very confusing if you're trying all of the methodologies and techniques that people are teaching you to sell your services and you're still not selling. It's going to be very confusing, and it's going to start to create some self-doubt in you, in your abilities, and you're going to take a hit to your confidence. And so I learned this over time that, and especially because of the shift in my business, all of you guys know that my business has grown tremendously this year, but I share my story of last year, how in the entire year, all I sold was like I made $6,000, $6,070 for the whole year. With the same talent, the same knowledge, the same educational background, the same 10 years of marketing experience, the same personality, like nothing about me as a person has changed. But what did change was my content strategy. And so I created a three-part framework that I feel is the key to being able to sell out your services. And so I want to talk about that three-part framework. So my three-part framework that I teach in my Empowered Profitable CEO group coaching program is what I feel is like the foundation that a high ticket service based entrepreneur needs to have. And by high ticket, I mean you're selling services at $1,000 or more, or you want to be. I feel like the things that I'm teaching in this framework are necessary, and you might have these things. I'm going to go through the framework and kind of tell you what you need to have in those parts, and you can start to kind of determine for yourself today if you're missing anything, if you have any gaps in your own business. So the three-part framework. I have the first phase of the framework is the conception phase, which is where you're clarifying a winning business program concept. I'm going to give you details about each one, but I'm going to quickly highlight all three of them first, and then I'm going to tell you what each one of them means and what you should have included with that. The second part is connection. That's the second part of the framework, and that's where you're building trust and brand authority with your ideal clients. And then the last part of the framework is the conversion phase, where you need to optimize your processes for easy conversions. So I'm going to kind of dive right into what each one of these things means. At any point, you guys can ask a question. If you're missing something, if you have a question about your own business related to what I'm talking about, pop a question in the question box, drop a comment, and I'll be happy to stop and answer them. So the first phase I told you guys is the connection phase, and the conception phase, and this is the very foundation for what it is that you're doing, because a lot of times people will create products and services based on what they think people need and not based on what people actually need. So when it doesn't sell, and I've done this before, I created a course because people couldn't afford my design packages. So I created a DIY course to show them how to create professional branding for themselves. I thought that that was a good thing because obviously if they can't afford it, I can offer them something lower price. But honestly, people don't want to make their own branding themselves, especially if they're not a designer. So I tried to sell that. Nobody bought it. Nobody cared. So that's an example of someone creating something that they think people need based on what they're seeing in the market, and it turning out to not be the right thing. So during the conception phase, to have a successful business for this part of the phase, you need to first know your MVPs. I've been talking about MVPs for weeks now. You need to know your most valuable person, problem, and product. The most valuable person Oh my God. Thanks, Aisha. Aisha says she loves my hair. This is a wig, girl. I'm being lazy this week. Y'all know that for 2 weeks ago, I refused to wash my hair. And now I'm like, I'm not going to do anything to my hair. Okay, so the conception, MVPs, your most valuable person who is definitely going to buy from you, the most valuable problem that they have that you can solve with your expertise, and the most valuable product you can create to sell to them to eliminate that problem that they have. That's your MVPs. The second thing you need to satisfy the conception phase is a profitable price point. A lot of you are pricing based on your competitors' pricing and what you think people will pay, and not based on the profitability of your business, meaning you can pay your personal bills and your business expenses and you still make a profit of at least 10%. If you are not pricing your entire business based off of profitability, then you do not have a sustainable business. And this might be the reason why you still have to work a full-time job, or you're stressed every month because you're not hitting your income goals. And then the third thing that you need in the conception phase is a repeatable, scalable framework. A framework for how you're going through the process of doing the service or the coaching program that you have, whatever it is that you're doing or selling in your high ticket service business. You need to have a framework that you're following that you can repeat and do over and over again. And you need to have that down pat so that every time you get a new person, you know exactly the steps you need to take them through every single time. Okay, so that's the conception phase. So if you're thinking to yourself, okay, I have the conception phase down pat, I am very profitable in my business, I know my MVPs, and I do have a framework, then you're good. But you're still not selling out your high ticket services. So let's move on to the next phase. So that's the connection phase. In the connection phase, the first thing that you need to have done is that you're building trusting relationships through your marketing. I don't care if you market via email, through ads, through Instagram, through Facebook, through Twitter. I don't care which one of these things that you choose to market your business in, but whichever one you choose to use, the goal needs to be building trusting relationships, because you have to have that like, know, and trust relationship when selling high ticket. And the reason for that is because high ticket purchases over $1,000 or more are a very emotional purchase for someone. And so if they don't trust you, chances are they're not going to buy from you either. If they don't trust that you're going to get them to the end goal that they have, if you're going to eliminate their problems, if they don't trust that you're a good person who is going to keep their word, who can get them the results that they're looking for, then they're not going to buy from you. So you have to be building trusting relationships with them. The second thing you need in the connection phase is you need to be guiding them through their buyer's journey. Through everything that you do needs to guide them through the buyer's journey. The content that you're posting needs to be taking them from point A of frustration and exhaustion to, I realize I have this problem based on all these pain points. These pain points are symptomatic of this problem. That's the problem that I have. What can eliminate this problem? This is the solution to this problem. Who is offering the solution? This person has the solution. I want to buy from them. I bought from them. That is a buyer's journey that you need to be taking someone on through all of your content, all of the things that you do, your sales page, everything that you're doing should be taking someone along that buyer's journey. And you should understand how to get someone through that buyer's journey before you start trying to sell your stuff, right? And then the third part of the connection phase is you need to have the right mix of what I call the 3 Ps of content, which is promotional, perspective shifting, and problem solving content. One of the main reasons why I created this group coaching program specifically focused on content strategy is because typically people are creating educational content. You see it out there, how to do this, 10 steps for this, how to use this program, how to use this app. Hey, Grace. So many people are teaching a lot of educational content, and you're thinking that's building me brand authority, right? People see me as a helpful person. I'm solving some of their pain points. They're going to come to me and actually buy. But what you're attracting when you focus most of your energy on content that's educational is you're attracting people who just want to come to you for free information only. They don't see you as someone that they need to invest in. They come to you because they feel like if they come to you, you're going to tell them free information. Why do they need to invest in you if you're just going to tell them all these things? And keep in mind that your educational content, if it's not within your program, your paid program, then your informational, like your educational content is really just solving a pain point, if I'm being honest. Because if that was the case, then your business would be a nonprofit, right? I know that you're keeping your best kept secrets that people actually need help with that's going to be behind the paywall of them having to invest in you. So keep in mind that when you're only focusing on educational content, you're not taking them to the point of solving and eliminating their problems. You're just eliminating pain points, which are just small little symptoms of a bigger issue. And that's what they're going to see you as, someone who just helps them with little pain points and gets them by for the next week, the next month, the next year, that they still don't need to invest in. I hope this is making sense. And so those are the three parts of the connection. So for those of you who just popped in, my three-part framework that I'm talking about is what I'm teaching in the Empower Profitable CEO group coaching program. I'm teaching this framework because I believe that you need to have three things in order to easily sell out your high-ticket service. You need to have a good concept where you're clarifying a winning business concept. You need to have a connection where you're building trust and brand authority with your ideal clients, your potential ideal clients, and you need to have your conversions. You need to be optimizing your processes for easy conversions. And when one of those things are missing, or some parts of those things are missing, you will have a hard time selling out your high ticket services. And this is why, even if you're great at what you're doing, you're still having a hard time closing at the price point that's profitable, or closing sales, period, or even attracting leads in the first place. Okay, so I gave you guys the first two, which was conception and then the connection. So now let's hit to the last part of my framework, which is the conversion, because obviously you figured out the perfect concept. It's going to be profitable for you. You're going to really be helping people. You're going to be eliminating a big problem. You're connecting with them. You're vibing with them online. You're talking to people. You have potential leads coming in. Now you have to close the deal. So this is where the conversion phase comes in. So the first thing that you need to be doing to convert people is usually through a connection phase. So something like a video content, or something where you're engaging back and forth with them. DMs is the same thing. For me, this program is specifically teaching you about video content because that converts faster. So for videos, you need to have your MVPs for every single video. Now, I know you guys are like, you just told us about MVPs earlier. These are different MVPs. For video content, every video needs to have what I call my MVPs, which is your most valuable premise, the thing that you're talking about in that video, that's the subject matter of that video, the most valuable problem, whatever that premise is, needs to be leading them to solving a problem eventually. And then you need to have the most valuable proposition. At the end of that video, there should be some sort of call to action that's going to lead them to being able to solve that problem. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so that's the first part of the conversion phase. The second thing you need to be doing is pre-qualifying leads before your sales call. I am literally making the curriculum for this week's. So I told you guys that I'm launching my group coaching program, but I am in the middle of a mastermind. We're on month 3 officially. And our lesson for Thursday is talking about launches, because they're all launching their signature services this month. And one of the things that I'm talking about today is specifically the fact that you have to be pre-qualifying your leads before you get on the sales call. And there's like 4 ways that you can pre-qualify before you get on the call. Before you get on the call. Literally, the call is like the last thing that you should be focused on. So an example of ways to pre-qualify is obviously like your application questions, right? And your questions for pre-qualification should eliminate the people who are not a good fit and attract the people who are a good fit for your program. So that's pre-qualifying before the sales call. You can do that through the DMs. You can do that through your application. You can do that through your content, through your sales page. But all that stuff needs to happen before your actual sales call happens. And then the last thing that you need in this particular phase is a seamless and automated lead and client process. This part is important specifically because for a sustainable business, for a solo entrepreneur or someone who doesn't have a lot of full-time employees dedicated to several different business operations, you have to have some automations in place to actually run your business smoothly, to not drop the ball on a daily basis, to have your clients be clients who are satisfied and leads be people who are willing to buy from you. I hope this also makes sense. So this phase is very important. And if you're having a hard time converting people, you're missing something leading up to this phase. Even if it's just all in this last phase, you're missing something. So this is why I wanted to talk about this today. It's because, and this is why I created my program. My program is very unique in the way that it teaches you a content strategy, because again, so many of you are actually super amazing at what you do. Like the clients that I get are talented photographers, amazing coaches, people who have gotten great results for people. And so when they come to me still struggling to sell, I know immediately that it's their content strategy. And it's a lot that has to do with the things that I mentioned here, but a lot of it, a big chunk of it, is your content strategy. And so I want to help you understand that a part of building brand authority is the professionalism, is all of the things that you're taking into account leading up to selling something. And so when you're thinking of brand authority is just, being knowledgeable about something, yes, it's being knowledgeable about something, but you have to be so knowledgeable that you can explain to people why that thing is valuable. And that's through your content. So if you can't even explain why what you're offering is valuable, and you didn't base that product design off of that product or that service or that package off of intelligence, then you're not showing yourself as a brand authority. You're really not. You're not conveying the fact that people need to trust you or buy from you. How can I trust you if you're not even creating something that's going to help me? If you're not creating something with me in mind, why would I buy from you? Especially at $1,000 a pop. So you have to start thinking about that from the perspective of your potential buyers. What impression are you giving them? How are you helping them to trust that you are going to be the person that's going to help them, when all you're doing is giving them educational content to solve these tiny little pain points that they're having, but they still at the end of the day have the same problems that they came into your content having? Hey, Kelly. So I hope this all made sense. I am officially starting the Empowered Profitable CEO Group Coaching Program next week, because one of the things that I did at the end of last year was find something that I could do that was going to add value to my business and help me sell better, help me sell my high ticket services. And so I actually invested in a course. It's the only course I actually took and went all the way through. I never finished a course. I don't care how cool I think that the tips are going to be. I never finished a course. But I finished this particular course because it, first of all, was a huge investment. But second of all, I knew it was going to be the thing that added the most value. The best thing that you can do when you're investing in your business is investing in better processes and techniques to be efficient at selling your service that you're offering. And so I created this program to make you more efficient at the type of quality and the quality of content that you're coming up with, that's going to build the connection sooner, faster, and easier. I do not do a lot of complicated email marketing. My sales pages are hella basic. My process is rooted in video content strategy. And so this program is teaching you all about video content strategy, because it is the fastest way to build trust and connection with people. And you need that as the foundation of getting people to buy high ticket from you. You need to be building that like, know, and trust relationship that everyone talks about. And the fastest way to do that in the climate that we're in today, where we're stuck at home, we're having to communicate with people via Zoom and videos, and all of our conferences are now internet conferences. All of our challenges are, email challenges and Facebook challenges. Like, everything is internet based. So if you are not building the right connection with them, if you're not a great writer, you don't have to be a great writer to show up on video. You don't have to be beautiful or the coolest person to show up on video. You just need to have information that's going to lead people to solve their problems that they're having. And I'm going to teach you how to create the type of content that you need to solve the biggest problems that your ideal clients are having, that you created your program to solve. So I'm excited for those of you who have been checking out, me talking over the last 2 to 3 weeks about the Empowered Profitable CEO Group Coaching Program. The application link is in my bio for you to submit your application. If I went through this framework, which I'm going to cover again because a few of you just joined, if you're missing something just from me talking about this framework, then chances are you're really missing some details that is in the nitty-gritty of me actually teaching you how to go through this framework. So again, the 3-part framework that you need to sell out your high ticket services is conception, connection, and conversion. You need to have all of these things aligned in your business to sell out those services easily without underpricing. So the conception phase is where you're clarifying a winning business program concept. That includes you knowing your MVPs, your most valuable person, problem, and product, you having a profitable pricing structure for that, and you have a repeatable, scalable framework to take people through that same process every single time you get a client. That's conception. You need to have connection, which is building trust and brand authority with your ideal clients. In order to build connection, you need to be building trusting relationships through all of your marketing. You need to be guiding them through their entire buyer's journey from start to finish. And you need to have the right mix of promotional, perspective shifting, and problem solving content. Again, a gap that I see typically with people is that they're creating a lot of educational content, which is just bringing you people who just want free information and people who just want to have a quick win of just satisfying like a pain point. But at the end of the day, they're going to still have that big problem. And so solving their little pain points is not the right thing to do. You need to get them to the point of solving their problem. And then the last phase is the conversion phase, which is where you're optimizing your processes for easy conversions. And the way to optimize your processes for easy conversions is knowing your MVPs for every single video piece of content that you're putting out there. I already told you guys that video content is how I built the brand authority in my business to sell my services. This is how I sell. I barely do email campaigns. I had a Pinterest manager. I don't have that person anymore. I don't do a lot of anything else except video content, and I still sell out my services, and I've been selling them just fine, even with me switching my industry from being a designer all of last year and in the first quarter of this year to completely shifting over into coaching and still selling that thing. So it doesn't matter if you just started doing something. That is not an excuse to not be able to sell if you know what you're doing and if what you're offering can solve a big problem that your ideal client has, okay? So conversions, you know your MVPs for every video that you're talking about. That's your most valuable premise, problem, and proposition every time you're doing a piece of video content. You need to be pre-qualifying your leads before your sales call. So much of the work is done before your sales call. And some examples of pre-qualification techniques is your application, your sales page, all of your content before they get to the sales page, before they fill out the application, and leading up to that sales call, giving them some type of way for them to assess whether or not this is a good fit for them. And then the last thing is a seamless and automatic lead and client process. You need to have processes going on in the background that can help you run your business when you don't have employees. I teach all of this in my program. This program is unlike anything that I've seen out there. It's not going to be a course where you're just learning some stuff on your own and nobody teaches you how to implement, or it's all about implementation and not about you understanding how to run your business on your own. So many of the comments that I get from people coming from other coaching programs or courses is that either the person just handed them, like spoon-fed them information so that when that program was over, they didn't know how to sustain what they learned, or you took a course and the course gave you all the tools that you needed leading up to the implementation, but it didn't tell you how to implement, and you didn't have any support to teach you how to implement those things. My program is a great combination of everything. I'm going to be doing this entire thing live. You will get the recordings. You'll get to go back and look at it, but you're actually going to learn how to do the things that I'm doing, not mimic me, not copy what I'm doing and copy my success, but to have your own and to be an independent business owner that you need to be, in order to have a sustainable business. I don't think that I would hit the same income goals that I've been having every single month or be able to increase them throughout the year if I wasn't doing the things that I'm doing in this program. So the application deadline is this week because we actually start on Monday. So if you've been thinking about joining the program, or if you're still kind of like, maybe I am missing some of the things, I have a benchmark assessment that comes with my application. So you would book your compatibility call with me. That's through the form that's linked in my bio. Once you book that call, you actually get a benchmark assessment that will walk you through this framework in detail. So not just the things that I told you really quickly today, but walk you through the entire framework. And that's where you can self-assess where you are missing things. You'll actually be able to score yourself. And at the end of the day, if your score is low, or if you haven't maxed out, if you're not hitting every one of those things, then that will tell you that this program is for you. And that's my part of my pre-qualification process that I'm going to also be teaching in the program. And it has been extremely successful for me to be able to sell this program. I have a 75% conversion rate just from taking people through this process. And I have an application that's still open. So that person might close. So that might be a 100% close rate, because I'm going through my own framework and teaching people the same thing. So I want you guys to know that even when you apply with me, I'm not just saying, okay, yep, pay me money, come into the program. No, I want to make sure that this is right for you. And before you jump into anything, you should make sure that it's right for you too. So my process allows you to do that and make an educated decision. And my call is just a compatibility call. Let's see if you're suited for the program. Let's see if I'm the right person for you. There's no pressure. So anyway, I'm excited to talk about this. Was fun conversation. You guys were really quiet today. Did you guys have any questions? You know, I always answer questions about, do you have any questions about the framework? Anything that you're missing in your business from what I talked about that you need more details on? Feel free to ask. I'll hang on for another minute or two to see if anybody has a question. Bianca. Any questions, guys? Okay, you guys might be good. I hope I see some of you apply for the program. I just welcome this. Okay, good. Hey, Danielle. Oh, I'm glad you were here. I just welcomed the second person into the program. I have an application open and I have a call tomorrow, compatibility call tomorrow. So it'll be a nice group. The people right now are all done for you service-based entrepreneurs who do like coaching and branding services. So I have some creatives. I'm really excited about that. But this program is perfect for people who are coaches and done for you service providers. So like you offer a service where you're the person executing and you're solving a problem for your ideal client. So that's just a little bit of information. But I have a whole highlight that talks about the program. It's the highlight that has a little crown and it says EPC. Danielle says, I learned so much from you and from having sorry, I got a call. And from having worked with you, I highly recommend your services. Oh, thanks, Danielle. I love Danielle. Danielle is my spiritual advisor who changed my life. She told me at the beginning of the year that my business was going to be great. And I think I talked to you back in March, Danielle. And I mean, you were right. I was so freaked out by how amazing your perspective was on the possibilities for my life this year. So if you guys need any advice, if you want to get connected with your spiritual side, Danielle has literally changed my life. So thank you, Danielle, for being so sweet. Okay, guys, if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll post this replay. All right, Lizzie, I'm done.